Thank you, everybody, for being here this afternoon for the announcement that the Nebraska Cattlemen PAC has with regard to who they're going to be supporting in the governor's election in November. Beef is our #1 industry here in Nebraska. It is the largest segment of agriculture that we have in our state and accounts for over $10 billion in cash receipts every year. And during my administration, we have worked to be able to grow agriculture and beef in particular. And we've been very successful in doing that. If you look at last year, our beef exports were $1.81 billion, and that was 25% more than the previous high year in 2018. We have the best quality beef in the world here in Nebraska, and so we go all around the world to help promote that we've got the best beef here, and guess what? People around the world recognize that, and that's why they buy so much of our beef. Also, a couple weeks ago, I had the opportunity to go to Las Vegas to be able to help promote beef here domestically. We've done this in the past in places like New York, and while we were in Las Vegas, we got a chance to meet with restaurant industry executives, beef distribution executives, and really, again, promote the high quality beef we have here, especially for the clientele that they have in Las Vegas, which demands the highest quality. We meet that need, and so it was a great trip to be able to help do that. So I'm excited to be here today for this announcement. We're going to have Brenda, who is the president of Nebraska Cattlemen, step up here in a moment. We also have got Jim Pillen, who is the Republican nominee for governor, as well as U.S. Senator, our senior senator, Deb Fischer, and Joe Kelly, who is Jim Pillen's running mate. So we got a whole stellar group here of folks who are going to talk about why it's so important we continue to have the pro-agriculture and pro-beef policies that we've got here in the state. And before I turn it over, I just want to let Jim know that even though we're here at the Nebraska Cattlemen's, and we're talking about how we've increased beef exports. When we go to places like Japan, we also try to improve pork exports too, Jim. Just so you know, we're not trying to ignore pork. We also get them too. All right. So, but with that, I'm going to go ahead now and turn it over to Brenda, who's going to say a few words on behalf of the Nebraska Cattlemen.
Thank you, Governor. Well, thank you all for coming today. We very much appreciate you coming out on this absolutely gorgeous day. The fact that papers aren't blowing away because the wind isn't blowing is great. But anyway, as the governor said, my name is Brenda Masek. I am the president of the Nebraska Cattlemen organization this year. And my day job is as a third-generation cow-calf producer from southeast Cherry County. And it is an honor to be here today to support Jim Pillen as our candidate for governor. Agriculture is Nebraska's #1 industry. As the governor said, beef is the state's largest segment of production. Nebraska farmers and ranchers take pride in producing the exceptional beef to feed the world. The beef state ranks as #1 in commercial cattle slaughter, #2 in beef exports, #2 also in cattle and calves and all cattle on feed, and commercial red meat production, which red meat does consider the other white meat also. So the Nebraska beef cattle industry uses a significant portion of the state's corn crop. You know, we're the beef state, but we're also the Cornhusker state, and we produce those for the demands and also the jobs that they support in all those industries, and therefore we are excited to support Jim Pillen, even though he produces a competing a protein. But I was just very excited to hear that. Suzanne and Jim just said that their son is in the beef business now.
15 head of.
Yeah, 15 head of oysters. So we're getting him converted maybe. So this is great. Anyway, we know that as a farmer and a veterinarian, he understands the grit and resilience required to succeed in production agriculture. Jim understands the concerns of agriculture because he has experienced it firsthand by building a successful family livestock business in Nebraska. Jim has walked in our shoes, he knows our struggles, and will be a very strong supporting voice at the Capitol. As governor, Jim will lead the charge to protect our state's largest economic engine, which by spearheading efforts to address Nebraska's tax imbalance and supporting the unique needs of rural communities so Nebraska will continue to thrive for decades to come. Jim is coming. He's committed to controlling spending, balancing the three-legged stool of our tax code that's been out of balance for a long time, valuing ag land fairly, and reforming state aid to education. He is also understands that our rural communities, when rural communities and farmers and ranchers prosper, all of Nebraska prospers. Jim Pillen has spent his career investing in rural Nebraska, and Nebraska Cattlemen members look forward to having a farmer, a veterinarian, a fellow agribusinessman in the executive seat at the Capitol. Thank you.
Well, good afternoon, and thank you, everybody, for being here. And Brenda, thank you very, very much. Nebraska Cattlemen, we're very deeply grateful for the endorsement, and for this afternoon, we're very, very touched deeply. Maybe before Governor Ricketts, thank you for being here. Thank you for all of your support. Senator Fisher, thank you for being here. We're very, very grateful. And thank you on behalf of livestock producers for all of your work in Washington to make sure that we don't have to give all of our topsoil away so that we get fair prices. You've worked tirelessly, and we're very grateful for it. Thank you. And Joe, I'm really excited you're able to be here. Joe Kelly, my running mate. Joe and I have been friends a long time. Joe and I will be partners. It's really, really exciting. Joe and I have 100% trust and confidence. We'll be partners working elbow to elbow together once we cross the finish line in November. A big evening for Joe and his family as Susie is retiring from being a teacher here in Nebraska for the last 32 years. So we're going to be out west of Lancaster County in a few hours, so that'll be a lot of fun. But let me just say a couple of remarks. First off, again, thank you very, very much to the cattlemen. I think I get it in Nebraska. One of the things that's really, really important for you to understand is I love to eat steak, okay? I love to eat steak. Suzanne understands that really, really well. So now I will say I fall on the bacon side early in the morning, and everybody's heard the one about the difference between the chicken and the pig and the cow at breakfast, right? No? Well, the cow and the chicken are participants. The pig is committed, right? The pig is committed. Let me say, Nebraska's agricultural economy starts with two C words: cattle and corn. It's extraordinary what it drives it, and the part I get so fired up about is we can do it better. Governor Ricketts mentioned it. We can do it better than anywhere in the world. We have the most demand product. U.S. Nebraska steaks are in demand everywhere around the world. I think that's a big deal. Agriculture drives our economy. There's no question that it's really, really important that we come and we understand how important agriculture is, because if agriculture and all of our farmers and ranchers thrive, the rest of Nebraska thrives. That's a big deal. And again, two people behind me that have been public servants for a long time have done a lot of awesome things in the last 10 and 15 years to help make that take place. I'm really committed to that. I believe in it. It's a big deal. I've been talking for 14 months on the campaign trail in our 400 plus events that we've had. It's about our kids. It's about taxes and less government and running business practices. And it's about agriculture and standing up for our values. And I think there's three things that are really, really important when we talk about agriculture and we talk about the cattle industry. First thing that's really more important than ever before is that we have somebody, the next governor, really understands and works hard to defend agriculture. And you might say, well, what do you mean defend? Well, number one, a lot of steps. Our water's everything. We have to make sure we protect, keep our Ogallala Aquifer pristine, and we make sure we invest so that every drop of water that is due to Nebraska, that we get that. I applaud those efforts, Governor Ricketts. That's awesome, and we'll work hard to keep that. Number one. Number two, defend. In our business, we have had experience fighting the crazy far left side from Washington, called that bad guy Wayne Pacelli, the Humane Society of the United States, that is the greatest modern day Trojan horse, trying to put farmers and ranchers and livestock producers out of business, getting us to give $19 because we're compassionate to save a dog or a cat, and all of that money, 99% of their budget, goes to attacking livestock production. We have to stop that. We have to keep fighting it. And then lastly, this crazy idea of Petri dish meat. Bill Gates, we've all heard of Bill Gates, know who he is. He's done some awesome things, but as I say, when he starts talking about Petri dish meat is the only way we feed the planet, his computer hasn't been cyber attacked, his brain has. We have to get him understand. We in Nebraska do it the best, and we not only feed the world, we save the planet as we're doing it. And those are things that are really, really important about the sustainability and all of the incredible practices that have been going on since the homestead in the Sandhills and across this great state. So really, really proud of that. And I think it's really, really important. And then lastly, continue selling our product. We raise way more than we can consume. We have the best product at the best price all around the world. And it's important that we find every market imaginable so that we get prices. And I think maybe the last thing I think is really important, that we are all in the same game, selling livestock to make a profit. We all have been at it long enough. I share the same thing, just a little different critter. I will tell you guys that I was, I think it was in Kimball a month or 6, 8 weeks ago, and a cattleman came up to me and said, Jim, I love your platform. I love everything I learned about you, but there's just one thing. And I said, what is that? And he said, God, I wish you were a cattle feeder. And I said, I wish I was too. I'm not smart enough to be. So, but let me say, I think it's really important that we understand we're in the same game. 1998 just seemed like it was a couple days ago, and we sold pigs at Thanksgiving in 1998 for 8 cents a pound. And by the grace of God, we survived and lived through it. And just so we bought hams that same day to give to neighbors, and we paid $24 for the ham, and we got $23.60 for the whole hog. So, you know, fair and equitable prices for our producers is a really big deal, and we look forward to working together. We got to make sure that happens, and it has to be equitable. So let me finish up with just again saying thank you to all the cattlemen. We're very, very grateful for your support. It's really important that together we now work hard to bring the Republican Party together. We work hard. We'll continue on the same path we've been the last 15 months, meeting Nebraskans across the state, handshake to handshake, eyeball to eyeball, and keep earning our votes. And Joe Kelly and I are going to work our tails off to get it across the finish line this fall. The only way we can do it is with everybody's help, and we're humbled and grateful to stand before you. So thank you all for being here, and let me leave it with the gift of appreciation. Before Isaac came in our family, I didn't fully get it. It's really, really important that we take time to appreciate how incredible of a beautiful day. Really important to appreciate how incredible Nebraskans are and where we live. And as Suzanne says, let's always remember and appreciate that saying, there is no place like Nebraska. So God bless you all for being here. Thank you. Thank you.